Changes to working in the UK. Now, when applying for indefinite leave in the UK, there are certain things the Home Office checks before approving your application. One of the things they do is to check your pay slips and so on, which I'm going to be sharing in this video. And how many hours are you supposed to do with your company that is sponsoring you if you're on the skilled worker visa or any category of visa per week, and what to look at for. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fajira. If you're seeing this beautiful face for the very first time, I'm so happy to have you all in our beautiful family. For my returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. I really do appreciate. God bless you. If you're new to this channel, I create content on how you can migrate to the UK, jobs with visa sponsorship in the UK immigration updates, like everything you can think about the UK. So if you're someone who is interested in such content, do hit on that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, so each time I upload a new video, you'll be the very first person to see that video. I've received a lot of questions about how long you can spend outside the UK. So when applying for your indefinite leave to remain, you won't have problem, especially if you're on the skilled worker visa or you're a dependent. Guys, I'm going to talk a lot about that in my future videos, so stay tuned. So once I upload it, you will know, because like I said, that when applying for indefinite leave to remain, there are so many things that the Home Office looks out for, and at that stage, if you still do not meet those requirements, then your indefinite leave to remain may be refused, which I've seen a few people that got theirs refused due to one mistake or the other. Now, talking about working hours in the UK per week, we know that with the way the UK is structured, you cannot just continue to work. You need a break for you to rest and come back to work. Now, we also know that a lot of migrants like you and I know have passed on in cause of just taking so much hours without even rest. Now, there is a law that governs the work hours you need to work, and at the same time, you too as individual, you also have to check with yourself to say, if I'm taking up so much shifts, especially in the care sector, when you know that you have to be looking after another person, you have to make sure you look after yourself and be stable to be able to look after the other person, because we want the money, we want the overtime. And a lot of people as well have got into trouble recently. One of my viewers sent me the report she got on her DBS that she can no longer do a care job or any job that is related to social care. The only job now this lady can do maybe is to go to warehouse or any other sector she can work. And if she's the one that got the sponsorship, then it's going to affect the dependents, because the company who brought her can no longer continue to sponsor her on the care job, which is why I'm sharing this video as well. And I've received a message from a few of you saying you work more hours, you work less hours, and so on. Now, the company that have given you a COS, if you check on your COS, some COSs have got 35 hours per week, some have got 48 hours per week, some have got 37.5 hours per week. Now, you can actually work with that organization if they have got the hours that is stated on your COS, and they have even got excess hours in the organization. Now, I remember when I came in to the UK a few years ago, you are only allowed to work for 20 hours as a student. If you exceed that 20 hours, you will be in problem. I know some students have done it and they've got away with it, but remember that the UK is a country that no matter how you hide what you're doing, your HMRC will know that you're doing more hours. So even if they want to investigate, they can actually investigate and see that you're doing more hours as a student. So if you're doing more than 20 hours, be wise. Now, if you have come to the UK as a skilled worker and your COS have said you can work 38 hours for this organization that have brought you, then you can actually work for that 38 hours on your COS. And now, if the company that is sponsoring you have got overtime for you, you can still do that overtime in that organization. Now, by law, an employee can work for 48 hours a week. But if you want to opt out and say, oh, you can work more than that, there is a form you're supposed to sign. I'm going to share that with you in this video for your organization to know that you are opting out of that 48 hours. Now, if the company that sponsors you as a care worker, because this is why a lot of people have been asking me, they don't want anything that will affect their indefinite leave to remain, which is a very good thing to ask, to be honest. Most of the information I share here are on the Gov website, and we all know that sometimes it can be difficult for people to sort out that particular information. which is why I share most of them once I find them. So the company that actually sponsors you to the UK have said, okay, we've got overtime, and you think you can do that overtime, you can still do it if you wish to do it. Now, the 48 hours that governs organization by law, there are some other organizations as well that are excluded. I'm also going to share that in this video. If your company says, okay, we've got lots of hours and you think you can do it, but as you're picking those extra hours, be very careful, because you don't want to pick an hour that you will collapse on the shift, which I know a lot of people in the healthcare sector are doing. You have to look out for the hours that you're okay with, that you think you can manage, and pick those hours. Now, you are allowed to work for the hours on your COS with extra hours with the organization that brought you to the UK. Now, you bear in mind that you can do 20 hours in another organization. So once you have done those hours with your organization, let's say overtime and everything, and you now want to do more hours with the other organization, it should not exceed 20 hours. You're even better off staying 19 hours or 19.5 hours a week, because the problem starts accumulating when you start doing, let's say, 21 or 22 hours in the other organization, and your care job that brought you, you're doing up to 60 hours a week. When you apply for your indefinite leave to remain, from what it is right now, you have to submit your pay slips for 2 years. Plus, it will be noted that you're working more than 20 hours in the second organization. So you have to be very careful. For those that are on the health and care worker visa, that have got job with another company, that are doing more than 20 hours with those companies, you have to be watchful right now. Because if you don't go down to the 20 hours, when it's time to apply for indefinite leave to remain, it's going to be a problem. But now, if you already have your indefinite leave to remain and you choose to work, you're allowed to work, because nothing is tying you. You're not restricted. You're no more on a visa that is restricted. So if you're on indefinite leave to remain already, maybe preparing to do your naturalization and everything, and you choose to work in another organization for more hours, and also the one you have been working with before you got your indefinite leave to remain for more hours, you don't have any problem with that. But this is from the Gov website regarding the maximum weekly working hours for everyone. So just as you can see on my screen, calculating your working hours, average working hours are calculated over a reference period, normally 17 weeks. This means you can work more than 48 hours 1 week, as long as the average over 17 weeks is less than 48 hours in a week. Your working hours cannot be averaged out if you are under 18. You cannot work more than 40 hours in any other week. So exceptions, some jobs have different reference periods. For example, training doctors have a 26 weeks reference period. The offshore oil and gas sector has a 52-week reference period. What counts as work? A working week includes job-related training, time spent traveling if you travel as part of your job. For example, sales rep, working lunches. For example, business lunches, time spent working abroad, paid overtime. Unpaid overtime you're asked to do, time spent on call at workplace, any time that is treated as working time under a contract, travel between home and work at the start and end of the working time if you do not have a fixed place of work. What does not count as work? A working week does not include time you spend on call away from the workplace. Breaks when no work is done, for example, lunch breaks. That's why some companies do not pay you for your lunch break. Some people have 1 hour lunch unpaid break, and some people have 30 minutes paid break, and some companies as well have 1 hour paid break. So if you're paid, it's also counted as work hour, but if it's unpaid, it's not counted as work hour from what it says on the Gov website. So traveling outside of normal working hours, unpaid overtime you volunteered for example, staying late to finish something off paid or unpaid holiday, travel to and fro work if you have a fixed place of work. You have more than one job. Your combined working hours should not be more than 48 hours a week on average. If you work more than 48 hours on average, you can either sign an opt-out agreement, reduce your hours to meet the 48 hours limits. Now there is an opting out of the 48 hours week, so you can choose to work more than 48 hours a week on average if you are over 18. This is called opting out. Your employer can ask you to opt out, but you cannot be sacked or treated unfairly for refusing to do so. Just in case you refuse to do so, you can opt out for a certain period or indefinitely it must be voluntary and in written. So I will just leave the sample on the screen for you to see. Workers who cannot opt out of these hours are airline staff, a worker on ships or boats, a worker in the road transport industry, for example, delivery drivers, except for drivers of vehicles under 3.5 tons. Other staff who travel in and operate vehicles covered by EU rules on driver's hours, for example, bus conductors, a security guard on a vehicle carrying high value goods. So you can also decide to cancel it at any point you think you don't want it again. So for those who have been asking, you can work more hours with the organization that brought you, provided they are sponsoring you, and also you shouldn't exceed your 20 hours in the other organization to prevent any further problem during your indefinite leave to remain. Bear in mind that if you already have your permanent residency, you can decide to work for more hours for multiple organizations as long as you can do it. But at the same time, also know that you have to place your health as your priority so you don't break down at your place of work. This is a question most of the care workers, those unskilled workers, and also dependents and also students have been asking, and I thought I should do a quick video about it. And you can also do further research as well, and also speak to your organization for more clarity, so you have a better understanding. You've actually come to the end of today's video, and I hope you find it helpful. And if you do like and share with your friends and loved ones, and also do subscribe and join our beautiful family if you're yet to do that. Until I see you in my next video, guys, do take care and have a lovely day. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye for now.